Um, all right, y'all. So I got some stuff to come on here about tonight. So we're not going to wait. You guys will just have to rewind. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this channel, to this frequency called Tish Talk. All right, y'all. And so we're going to be doing a reading on the what am I saying? Chrisean Rock situation that happened in Compton a couple days ago. I'm sure you guys have heard after she was, she performed at the parade in Compton. Everything here is a legend and for entertainment purposes only. But after she did a live performance at the parade, um, for Jesus, her performing her gospel song. She did a good thing with the youth. I will say that. A lot of people feel like she's a hypocrite because of all the other stuff. One minute you talk about chilling, and then the next minute, and that is not alleged. That is just, it is what it is. Go do your research if you don't know, but if you know, you know. And then the next minute, she is praising God, and she's, yeah, doing a ministerial type performance, praise, whatever you want to call it. Um, but yeah, there's a lot going on, y'all. Okay, so this will be talking about. So after the situation happened, um, after she did her performance, she wound up in a fight. Okay, it was said with some girls that know her and everything here is for entertainment purposes only. Okay, the section 107 and 108 of the U.S. Copyright Act is law is in effect of 1976. Okay, it's for education and entertainment purposes only. It's obvious that I don't know these damn people, so it's for entertainment. All right, Chrisean Watt was involved in a physical fight with a group of women in Compton shortly after appearing as a special guest in the city's annual Christmas parade. On December 13, 2025, the altercation began when Rock was leaving a prayer circle and reached for a woman's phone who was recording her. One girl went live and said that these girls, whoever jumped her, they do this every day. I believe they are Crips, apparently had been offended by some remarks that Krishan had been saying, I don't know, some time ago. Apparently, these particular girls, I guess they were in some type of video or they might have had some involvement in baddies or something like that. One girl was saying, I don't know, but they have been somewhat in the baddies ordeal with fighting or something before, and apparently they get involved with gang activity on the daily, is what some girls said, whether that's true or not, that knows them, rolls with them, or knows of them. All right, who knows if that's even true or not. The woman then slapped Rock, leading to a brawl where Rock was reportedly jumped by multiple individuals. I feel like it was all a setup. They set out to do that. Krishan did seek to lower the phone of the girl or whatever because she didn't like how the girl had her phone up, recording her or whatever when they were just asking her. Um, one of them was asking her a question, I believe, about Blueface, like, isn't he a Crip or something like that? I don't know. The woman slapped Rock. She said that Rock tried to take her phone. Rock didn't try to take her phone. Apparently, she was trying to lower the phone, put the phone down, but everybody had the phone up trying to record her. Rock do got this thing about putting her hands on people's stuff, putting her hands on people's cake, eating people's cake, and doing all type of things. Okay, it is what it is. Apparently, the lady didn't take it too well. I really personally don't feel like, Krishan Rock meant any harm at that point, though, from what I saw. It seems like she was really just trying to lower the phone. You just got to be careful when you put yourself out there dealing with certain individuals. And Krishan got to realize, although she might feel like one of them, you not one of them. She's not one of them because she done been on TV. She has contracts with Zeus, so you're really not one of them. So any chance that any one of them, could use to get a headline, to go viral, of course they're gonna do it. And I feel like that's what they did. Okay, so we just tapping into the energy, that's all we're doing. Energy is subject to change. Okay, but I did pull an intuitive reading. We about to get into that with the oracle as well as the tarot deck. Video circulated online showing the chaotic confrontation with Rock seen fighting back while seemingly outnumbered. Rock later denied claims that her jewelry was stolen. It looked like Krishan held her own though. I mean, it was three girls trying to jump her, and the one girl that's claiming that she, slapped her or whatever, and that Krishan was afraid of her. Really and truly, she never did even like run up on Rock and give her a fair fight. Like, where did she go? So, I'm not a real fan of Krishan anymore, of the fact that I don't like some of her movement, but I will say that I personally feel like she held her own, you know? I'm like whack 100. She left unharmed, unscratched with all her jewelry. She held her own with all those people out there. So it shows you, I mean, she's a tough cookie. She is, but it's some stuff that needs to be addressed. So thumbs up for that. She gets a trophy in my book for that one. But then there's some other stuff and some other advice that Spirit needs to let her know tonight with this read, and we're gonna get into that. Welcome, y'all. Everything is a legend of entertainment first only. Y'all know I don't know these damn people, so it's for entertainment and it's all alleged, educational purposes only. Okay. The UA Copyright Act will be in the description box. What's up, y'all? Okay, so no arrests or official police reports related to this specific incident have been made public. Her ex-boyfriend Blueface commented on the incident via social media, warning about LA gang culture. I guess I don't know if they're trying to use this for the fact that they say that Rob been jumping sides between Bloods and Crips. She could have been a little elementary in doing that, but I don't think that she thought, it was going to result into all of this. Okay. And I don't think that she really meant pure harm with it. I could be wrong. But anyway, we're going to see what Spirit has to say and give the advice from Spirit. Okay. Without any further ado. All right. There are some reads to go into tonight. All right. One moment. Wh- What? Okay, welcome y'all. So yeah, we're gonna get into the read because I know that's what y'all came here for because I know y'all ain't come here for me. All right. One moment, y'all. Let me get things together for you guys. Mm. And then as far as Carlissa, I know that's what they plan on there right now. Y'all see it? I don't know. Sometimes so many days after that situation, um, apparently, I don't know. I guess some people went online and told Blueface or either Blueface and his mama, Clarissa, to go and get the baby or something like that. I don't know if Krishan Rock asked to drop the baby off. I think it was more of a public thing. However, however, apparently his mom must have said something about, she don't want to. Here's the thing: there have been times that she wanted to, and Krishan Rock didn't want to have nothing to do with her in that regard. Even when Blueface got out of jail, there were some text messages that were very disrespectful from Krishan Rock to Blueface's mother. And I don't feel like she deserved that. I really don't. Whether or not, I don't know how much of this stuff is for people TV shows and how much of this stuff is for real. But I don't fault Clarissa, or am I saying her name right? Carissa. I don't fault Blueface's mom, say it like that, for not wanting to get the baby at that point because she has tried before. Whether or not she right or wrong, you know. She is the elder, and Krishan Rock, I wouldn't be want to be fooled with her disrespectful ass either. So y'all can whatever, everybody got their own opinion, but that's mine. So I don't feel like she's not wrong for that. And it's just too much fighting and stuff going on. It's just too much violence and chaos when it comes to Rock. And furthermore, I don't even think that that's really Blueface baby no way. So all right, so we're just gonna get right into this read. All right. So I asked the cards today. Krishan, are you in danger? Are you in danger? Because of slipping between the Crips and the Bloods, didn't the leader of I want to say the Crips, put a message out there and put something on Krishan Rock's head for her to be a target? Did he not do that? I believe he did. Okay, this is the same one that I feel like did the same thing towards, I want to say, Jaden Alexis, which, that's a shame, you know? It's a shame for Blueface to be a part of an organization that's doing this to his baby mamas. But okay, whatever. I guess they do these things for protection. I guess when you in that type of growing up in that type of community, you have to get involved with these games for protection. So maybe that's Blueface's stance on it, or maybe he knows it's all for publicity and it's not anything going to happen to them. But as we can see, is people taking this thing seriously and or using the situation to jump his baby mama, or just using it to act like they're using it for that, but they really just want clout regardless. And hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Y'all putting up messages and then deleting them. Whatever it was deleted before I could even see it, but okay. But yes, so um, basically, I asked the cards, Kashawn, are you in danger? Did Blueface set up the hit? Did he send the hit? Okay, I do know this. What I channeled was the setup is real. Okay, I heard setup, setup. So there is someone that is targeting her and or going to target her or is targeting her now. All right. The oracle cards that came up were chaos, smell the roses, meaning slow down. Her mental is being overworked right now, overburdened right now. Antisocial, left out. Okay, so she feels left out of Blueface life right now. You did? Okay, I'm interested in hearing more about it. Or is it on your channel? Who is that? Shantae? Yeah, there's a need for her to yeah, I believe that. I believe that it will not end well. I'm very interested and I'm gonna check that out. Okay, so you didn't post it, but that's good enough for me to know. Thank you, thank you. So I can bear witness with that, Shanti. Antisocial, left out. Okay, so she feels left out in the cold. Um, you know, between her and Blueface, all right? Vacay, because she's burnt out. So the vacation card came up. She needs to vacay. So that's the Oracle read, okay? Also, burned bridges. She has burnt some bridges and she tries to rebuild them just to burn it back down again. She's been going back and forth with Zeus. I'm sure y'all know the situation with that. So that's probably why that came up. One minute she airing out dirty laundry, the next minute they supposed to be making back up, and then one minute, they going at it. The next minute they back together again. Her and Lemmy, I want to say, which is, the executive or whatever, CEO or what have you, or producer, top producer over Zeus. And then the lust card came out. Maybe that's the lust, she's longing for. She really wants Blue back, okay, but it's not looking too well for her. Um, Feeling left out in the cold, that's why she needs to slow down. Mentally, her mind is being overworked. She won't slow down. I feel like that's why the smell the roses card is there and just get a grip. Okay, that's the overall message here. And then chaos. It's all chaos. Okay. I will tell you this. I did receive a download today. When she took herself, or since she's been going back and forth to, I want to say California, wherever in the world, in Blueface house in LA, since she been over in his area, in his city, in his community, there is something that she's doing. It hasn't been like she's not going there for no other reason by just, spare of the moment or going over there for this purpose or that person or that purpose. Her real reason for going over there, one of the main reasons for going over there, I'm gonna tell you this, there is something that she's doing and it involves root work. It's not all about singing for the Lord. It's not all about Jesus, which I'm sure that you can do the math and figure that out yourself. Because one minute she testifying God, the next minute she, you know, doing something else. But I will say that I got a download, and there's something that she's doing, and she has to do it in his town, in his city. She's doing some type of root work, and she needs to be in his area when she does it. And maybe that's why sometimes he's been feeling a little bit like, I don't want to say weak, but looking back with nostalgia, like, okay, I had more attention when I was with Rock. Not that he really want to go back with her, but sometimes I don't know if the root work affects him or but there's something, a ritual or something that she does, and that's the real reason. Like even the night of his party, I think she was over there in that area. Okay, so I'm gonna stand by that. Everything here is a legend and for entertainment purposes only, but I did see that. Yeah, the surfing of the beaches, that could also have something to do with root work. I didn't think about that. So that is very coincidental. Wow. Yeah, because don't they of course pray to the water spirits or something. Um, I don't know. I don't know if it's, I don't want to say Yama Ya. I don't know the names of them, but there's a couple of water spirits. Well, there's probably a lot of water spirits or spirits associated with the water. She could be using the sand. She could be talking to the spirits, of the water. There are spirits of the water. But anyway, so let's get into the regular tarot read. All right, because honey, I'm telling you, um, if Krishan Rock really do know her God, then she really, really needs to utilize him. Okay. She really, really needs to. All right. So let's just get into this read right here. Okay. Alrighty. So the sequence of these cards suggests a journey through emotional pain and mental burdens toward a need for objective analysis, ultimately leading to feeling of being trapped by one's own thought patterns. Krishan, and I don't mean this in a bad way. So I'm going to try to stay objective. Okay. All right. So emotional heartbreak and pain. Okay. This journey begins with the Three of Swords, a card of sorrow. So the first card that I pulled today regarding her, as far as tarot, not oracle, was the Three of Swords. Okay. A card of sorrow, heartbreak, betrayal, or deep emotional pain. This indicates the foundation of the past or current suffering that needs to be acknowledged and processed. Overwhelm and responsibility. Okay. This emotional weight is followed by the Ten of Wands card was pulled, suggesting that Krishan is shouldering significant burdens, responsibilities, or an overwhelming workload. Okay. We know her mind is just being overworked. All right. Her mental is not good. Okay. The accumulated stress, she's stressed from the initial pain, okay, is now manifesting as a feeling of being overloaded and finding it hard to cope. Child, I'm trying to tell you. The King of Swords then appears next, representing a shift towards a need for logic, intellect, and objective truth to manage the situation. This is an indication of trying to compartmentalize emotions and use sharp, detached intellect to find a solution or bring order to the chaos. You know, she's trying to compartmentalize emotions, like just, okay, I'm gonna sweep this under the rug, I'm gonna put this over here and put that over there and not think about it right now, which is gonna just burn, it's burning her out. Okay, really it is. Self-imposed limitations. Okay, next, the Eight of Swords was pulled, signifying feelings of being trapped, restricted, and helpless due to negative thought patterns and self-imposed limitations. Even though the King of Swords attempt at an intellectual mastery, the individual or Kashan ends up feeling mentally confined, as if she's a prisoner of her own making, unable to see a clear path forward or exercise her own agency. The overall message of this spread, this reading, suggests that using pure cold logic to suppress or manage overwhelming emotional and practical burdens is not an effective long term solution. The overemphasis on the mental realm, many swords cards, has led to a state of mental paralysis. That is where her mind is right now, y'all. The individual, Krishan Rocks, need to acknowledge her pain, release the heavy burdens, and realize that the constraints that she feels are largely in her mind. To find freedom, this woman is not free. Okay, she really need that Jesus or something that she preaching about. Okay, she really need to let him just really lay them burdens and just get really give it up and give it to God for real, for real. If that's the God that she, say that she really believe in, they must challenge their current perspective, meaning Krishan, change her thought patterns and take action to tackle issues one by one rather than remaining in a state of passive resignation. She's not dealing with this stuff. She needs to lay this and just give this stuff up, really. I'm really concerned about her mental. Krishan needs like psychotherapy. She really need to get on some medications, at least temporarily, maybe some Zoloft or something. And I'm not being funny. I'm being real. Like based on this read, it is really, really not good. These were the first set of real tarot cards that I pulled. Krishan really need to work with a therapist instead of working on the waves all the time. And instead of trying to play in the soil or the water, whatever she really going over there in California for, she need to really be in a shut-in somewhere in somebody's church and praying and crying out to God that she claims she's serving, and really give that situation to God, because, you know, she might think that she can carry this burden, you know what I'm saying, sweep this thing under the rug, but her mind, it just needs to be free. And that's all I'm gonna say. It ain't good, honey. She really needs extensive therapy. Like, based on this read, I was like, oh my God, like, she really needs some medication. And I know a lot of church people feel like they don't need no medication, but we got to realize, like, a lot of people have chemical imbalances based on our water is full of chemicals, our food is tampered and full of chemicals. So just about, I've had nurses in the hospital. Like, I was in the hospital one time, years ago, with a situation that happened. And I remember a nurse told me, say, if I didn't take medication, I'd be killing somebody right now. And Krishan already ain't, wrapped too tight. Everything here legendary. Really, there's nothing wrong with getting something to help you through. She might need a mild dose of something to help her through the coming months, to help her get over this whole breakup. You know what I'm saying? And then, not to mention, she already kind of got some bad luck because of Ronnie, though, allegedly. So we got all of that. So, is this a hit of karma? Because I remember doing a read, y'all, and I told y'all that it was some negative stuff following her based on some shit she done too now. So you got all of that too. You feel me? Get your mind right, because your life could depend on it. I don't know. It's just really, really, I don't see it looking too good at all. I don't have no good feeling at all about this. Um, Yeah, it is. It's karma, Shantae. Hunte 04. Yes, I totally agree. Let's go to the next read. What did I do? Child, I just don't know. All right. So was this hold on. I did several reads. All right. Okay. So these are the cards that were pulled. Um, the Death card, then the King of Pentacles, and then the Page of Swords. And then we have the Four Swords. And then we have the Five of Wands. Let's see what this means. All right. We're going to get into this. All righty now. I'm trying to tell you, Lord, child is praying times. All right. All right. So, in a tarot reading about a person's safety, this combination, the Death card, King of Pentacles, Page of Swords, Four Swords, and Five of Wands, presents a complex message that suggests a potential conflict, a need for a retreat, a potential conflict, y'all. It could potentially happen, like, for real, for real. I just saw a video when they were saying that this whole thing was fake. What y'all think? 'Cause I don't think it's too fake. I really don't think it's fake at all. Like, I saw the footage. I think it's real. Of course, we done all seen it. I think it's real. And I really, especially for Junior's sake, I don't like seeing stuff like that. Even for Krishan, even though Krishan, I'm not a real fan anymore, I still feel for her and I still want her safe, regardless of what she's done. But anyway, hey, you live by the sword. Yeah, I don't want to say die by the sword, but child, I just don't know. Sad. But so it's a complex message that suggests a potential conflict, a need for retreat, and a significant possible difficult transformation, rather than a difficult confirmation of immediate physical danger or death. Here's a mental breakdown, okay? So, all right, let's just get right to it. The cards in this sequence suggest that the person is facing a period of intense transformation and conflict that is causing mental or emotional exhaustion. See, it just keep coming up about her mental, with the Five of Wands and the Page of Swords. She likely feels a strong need to retreat and rest. Four of Swords, but I don't think her mind is at rest, but it needs to be. It should be. That should be a goal. While the Page of Swords warns a potential confrontation. Potentially, there could be a confrontation. And the Five of Wands shows struggle. The overall message points more towards significant stress, anxiety, and the need for a major life change and subsequent recuperation rather than immediate, unavoidable physical harm. Okay, so basically, she needs to change. She just needs to change, her life, her purpose. So that's just saying, like, Yeah, don't just focus on keeping yourself safe, but you also need to change some things in your life, okay? And recuperate mentally also. The King of Pentacles provides a grounded element, suggesting a need for practical handling of the situation. Yes, you need to use some common sense there, all right? So that's pretty much what I have for Rock. I'm going to be coming back tonight with a read on Cassie Ventura and her husband Alex. You know, Cassie, with the Diddy situation, she just had a baby. Did she have the baby this year? Yeah, I believe she did. Ray J and Princess Love. Y'all know Ray J is all out there right now. It's a lot going on with him. Let's see, what else? We're gonna do Ariana Grande and Cynthia from Wicked, the movie. We know that Cynthia is the good witch. All right. So I have a couple reads and I'm going to come back. I just don't want to bunch everything on the same video. I want to keep these things kind of separate. So I will be back. I love you all. I wish y'all a very beautiful and safe holiday season. And we're coming back in just a few minutes. So stay tuned. I love y'all. Be blessed.